Oh yeah!
Why, hello there, everyone. This is Mayor Jason, the Gaming Tycoon, also known as GM764, and I think y'all have all been waiting for this for a long time, but this is Transport Fever. Alright. So, for those who don't know, Transport Fever is the sequel to Train Fever, which I've covered on my old channel a fairly long time ago. I wish I could have done more with that game. It was a lot of fun to me. I enjoyed it all, but sadly, real life comes up. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to enjoy the wonderful, wonderful redesign and very needed update, which is Transport Fever. So as you can see, we're in build 11,589 or 11,589, whatever you want to call it. The Windows 64-bit build, obviously, since I have a 64-bit computer. And, well, you can see we have some rather nice options on the side here, and also my little achievement list down here, which, if I open up, you can see I've already got some of them. There's quite a few. Majority of them still come from Train Fever Original, but there's definitely a lot more, which is a nice little feature. Kind of wish they were Steam achievements, but hey, that's for another discussion. So, the most important thing on this screen is not the workshop, which is awesome, but I'll show that off another time. It is the tutorial, which, if you listen carefully,
the inhabitants of the cities want to go shopping and to work. Well, they might not necessarily want to go to work, but they certainly need someone to get them there. Ensure happy commuters on local and long-distance transport. In this tutorial, you will be transporting your first passengers by bus and train.
And as you can tell, there's a narrator for the tutorials and missions, which are awesome. I won't be doing the tutorials though. I mean, if y'all have seen Train Fever, it's practically the same thing. Sure, there are differences, but don't worry, I'll cover those. So if we go back, there's also the campaign, which I'm saving for my actual YouTube series. A free game, which I'll be doing mostly for my streaming series, and obviously the other option, including published mod, but that's, again, the topic for another time. So, before I get to the free game that we're going to use, let's go to settings and show off some of the new stuff that we have. So the first thing is the graphics options. Nothing too really different from Train Fever here, exception for very high. I'm playing the game on max settings, and it runs really well. Again, it is still in beta, so it's not the best it could be, but let's just say it's far better than what I was getting in Train Fever already, despite the fact that there's far more stuff to render and show. Next we have audio. Again, nothing too different outside of the voiceover. This is probably the biggest change in the entire game. We have hotkeys. We can finally change the key for every single thing, exception for hiding the entire UI, sadly. I searched this whole list and I still can't find it. So aside from that, you can set a key to every other option, and it will, well, do whatever you want it to. And it is glorious, that's all I can say. Sadly, I can't say put in function keys along with, well, not function, but like modifier keys with them, so I can't do Control M, at least not at the moment. I'm not sure if they'll add that, but I kind of hope they do. Next, we have the interface, which, since I'm American, I've set everything to America units, or better yet, Imperial, as y'all want to call it. Of course, you have metric, and you can mix and match if you know what you're doing, because I sure can't do all that math in my head. Sadly, the train stations still display in meters for their length. That's not too bad. I can deal with that. And again, the last two options are the same, and so are these. So with that all out the way, I'll go on and cancel so I don't mess anything up. And let's go to free game. Now, free game has definitely changed. I'll be doing USA because I can for once, starting off, which is awesome. Everything's really the same as far as the standard options go, but we have some new stuff. And as you can see, world format is probably the biggest change in the game, as we have 3 different map types now as far as scaling goes. We have 1x1, which is the standard size, which means for every length it is equal to the other side, so basically a square map. 1x2, which is twice the height for the length, and of course 1x3 is 3 times the height for the length. So let's say I had a map that was 1,000 pixels long. Of course there's an actual number for that, and 1x2 would be 2,000, and 1x3 the length would be 3,000 by 1,000. So you can get some really rather long maps. Also, I can select a couple of maps I made. Of course, there are some maps listed here that you can't access normally, but I won't be showing those because that's like hacking the game. Again, for another time. I might do the Texas map. And of course, another new option, which is select custom year, which means we can select between 1850 up to 1990. I still don't see why they didn't add the year 2000, but whatever. Or we can just go for standard, which just unlocks the normal 3. I'll be sticking with standard. Instead of starting off in 1850 like we normally would do, I'll save that for our actual stream or something. I'll be starting off in 1900 just so we have some better stuff to start out with. I'm going to make the world medium. Difficulty I'll leave to easy, as I always do, because let's face it, I still suck at the game, to be honest. So with that out the way, let's start. Now, one thing I will note, the game actually loads fairly fast, but I'm actually playing this off my old hard drive since I've had to redo my computer recently, so I haven't had the space cleared out on my SSD yet, which has been giving me some trouble, sadly. So I'm going to have to look into that. So it's not loading as fast as it could, but it's still far, far faster than anything trained Fever would have loaded up in. Also, I left my FPS counter on in the upper right for those who haven't noticed, so y'all can look at my frame rate. And while we wait, I'll just mention that I am running a Core i7 7490 non-K edition, which thanks to my Asus motherboard can be slightly overclocked up to 4.2 gigahertz. 32 gigs of DDR3 RAM, so more than enough RAM, and a GTX 1070 Asus STRIX 8 gig OC edition. So a very, very nice graphics card. Of course, I played this on my old Phenom rig, which still is kicking around. But again, the game runs very, very well regardless of the system. I've even got it running on a computer that's 10 years old, and it still works just fine at minimum settings. I gotta make a video on that on my other channel one day. And this one too, if y'all would like to see that. I kind of wish music played during the loading menu still, though. But that's like a minor thing because it's already loaded. And in a moment, we should see the map and hear the awesome new music by Admiral James T as well. He's done some really nice songs, though I kind of wish he had done either a few more Western themed ones. Because I really did like Swinging Priest from Train Fever. That was an awesome track. Along with Big Boss. That was my favorite track in the game. Outside of Disco. He's done some really amazing songs. Oh, here we go. And as soon as it pops up on my screen. There we go. Alright. So this is Transport Fever. accidentally picked the long map, but you know what? It makes it interesting. Might as well. So I'm going to start down here near the end. Let's see. Yeah, we have a lot to work with. But as you can already see, we have a lot of new stuff. Namely, the industries have been completely redone. No longer is it just like take oil to a refinery, then take goods to a city. It is far, far more complex. So I'm just going to pop open the town of Aurora here, and you can see we have 6 good types alone that we can deliver to the town. 3 to shopping facilities, 3 to jobs, and obviously passengers. The first item is tools, the second is food, the third is goods, the fourth is construction materials, the fifth is machines, and the sixth is fuel. So I'll just start off by saying you don't have to deliver really any of those to grow a town. Naturally, the more you deliver, the more money you'll make and the faster the town will grow. But you can really just deliver one and everything will be fine. Or, like I said, you can just transport people and let them starve, but that's if y'all want to be me. So we're going to try to find a place that's relatively easy to deliver to, which I can see one right now, which is this little oil refinery over here, right next to an oil well, which is, as far as I can tell, very rare to start off with, being that close. I don't even have to use trains. Normally I'd start off with food or even livestock, but this is far more convenient in my opinion. So we just have to truck things down to Aurora. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up the truck menu, go down to cargo, and you can see the stations are a bit different too as well. The main station is still practically the same, but as you can see, the large truck station is completely different, which I do like. I just wish it still kind of had that awesome building in the center. So we don't really need a large though, so I'll just put a standard truck. And I'll stick it right about here. There we go. Oh, I didn't know there was a hill there. Oh well. So I'll put down a road depot, which got a bit of an overhaul. I don't think this is the final design though, at least not for this time period. If it is, I don't mind. Yeah, this hill's throwing me off a little bit. Oh, also one more thing, there's a couple more UI options now that I think about it. First, we have the options menu, which is completely redone, and the best button in the freaking game, the load menu. Let's face it. I've been wanting this since Train Fever 1's beta. Not to mention we can move menus around now, which is also really awesome. So I'm just gonna save the game real quick as 2. That LP map is fake. I'll have to deal with that file off camera. I'm gonna pop up the music player. I think the last song was Planet, if I remember right. This is the 5th. Settings menu, which not much has really changed or anything. Audio is still the same. Of course, you get the full control menu, which is awesome. Though I usually only work with that in the main menu. And finally, the exit button, which is main menu and to desktop. So you don't even have to go to the main menu anymore, you can just quit the whole game. We don't want to do that right now, do we? That'd be a shame. So, let's go back, and of course we have the other menus now as well, like the achievements, as usual. The listing options, like show hide vehicle list, which we don't have any, show hide station list, which we only have 1, show and hide all lines, which we have none right now, etc, etc. I'll open those again later. The line menu is still practically the same, with the addition of air and water. And of course the UI options. And terrain option as well. Has its own little nice menu, along with assets and other things. And finally the little pop-up menu down here, which I'll cover in a second once we get to the city. So I'll just hit delete to hide everything. Actually bring the music back. So back to building trucks. Another cargo station over here. And you know what? Let's build a medium. Now that trucks don't really overlap each other. I mean large, sorry. And normally I would put 2 depots, and I keep forgetting that there's a new feature in the game. I'm so used to the train feeder. If I open up, say, another menu like, I don't know, the industry or town list, if I hit escape, it closes the last menu you opened in sequence. So if I open 10 menus, it would close from the newest first to the latest last. Very useful feature, if I must say. So, going back over here, we'll just create our new line. So from here to here. And you can see there's already a couple of new things as well. We have the finance menu, which gives us a chart of income versus running costs. A chart, which gives us a line graph of what we've transported and how much. Vehicles, which we can set the color of, which I'll get to in a second. And a replacement, which is standard. There's still no replace now button, which is kind of sad. But I can live with that, and I keep pressing delete. Yeah, y'all can tell I'm recording this early in the morning. Also, we have a plethora of new vehicles. I'll be staying away from the horse vehicles, despite the fact there's even more of them. Yeah, I actually do like the new horse vehicle designs, but I'll be sticking with the newer steam lorry this time. So we're just going to pick one of those. And there's a new feature in the game called automatic. The first cargo type it can pick up, it'll switch to that cargo, so you don't really need to haul like different wagons anymore. It'll just automatically refit. And when it doesn't pick up, it'll just leave to the automatic setting. So we'll leave it on auto, change all of them to black, since this is an oil line. And though it says oil in Transport Fever, it actually starts as crude oil, which you can see here. So don't worry, it's just set to auto, it'll be fine. I'm gonna buy, I don't know, maybe 10? I'll buy 10. And though I'm recoloring them now, I can actually go to the line recolor, which I'll do later, and recolor them all at the same time, which is a very useful feature. So I'll set all y'all to line 1. Now that I think about it, I probably should build a depot over here. So the other trucks can be starting off by the time those get there. These will carry fuel to the town. I'll stick with the dark golden yellow color thing for these so I don't get them mixed up. Buy 10 of those. And then build the station, because I forgot. And start closing out menus with the escape key, because I can. A very, very useful feature. Now there's one thing in this game that has been drastically changed since Train Fever, and that is stations. Most items, with a few exceptions, no longer travel by themselves, mostly cargo though. They now have a range with which they will travel from a station, which if I put down this station, say here for example, you can see the town lights up and all the buildings it can cover. Personally, I like the old system better, but I can kind of understand why they removed it. Anyway, fuel is a commercial delivery, so I need to go somewhere with a lot of commercial, which seems to be right up here. Can I get away with the bulldozing nose? Yes, I can. So I will. I'm going to fine-tune the rotation by pressing Shift and click. There we go. Also, as y'all have just witnessed, we also have a bulldoze tool. So if I say want to drag this road out from here to right here, you can see the cost and what buildings will be removed. Very useful feature. So glad they added that in. To Train Fever, it was stupidly annoying. Especially if you couldn't pause, but we can. So I'm gonna, bring back up the line tool. Totally forgot. And set it from here to here. And I'll just let these run and not get a full load. Did I set those? Yeah, full load of core oil. So while those are going, let's see if we can start another line, say from Orange to Aurora. So I'm going to save again, because as we all know in my very first Train Fever episode, the game crashed. So I don't want any of that happening here, at least. Just in case. I haven't had too many problems with crashing it either. But you know, betas will be betas. So Orange is a relatively small town, looking at it. You know, and I won't even connect all the streets like I normally do. Where would be a good place? It has a fairly big industrial district. And it seems Aurora has a very big residential district. So I'll probably just drop them off down here. And we can transport them by bus or whatever later. So, delete this road. Go to the train station menu. And you can see we have two new options. We first have the terminal station, which is basically a giant end station for whatever you could possibly need. Very nice feature. Goes all the way up to 8 tracks, which, oh, is a glorious thing. Thank you, devs. Thank you. I can't even begin to describe how much I love this feature already. Sadly, there's not a second street connection for this. And, of course, the standard 3 stations, which I kind of wish there was a second entrance on the other side, but I can live without. That's just me, though. So we'll just be sticking to a single platform. And since this really is at the end of the map, I'll use an end station, which I will stick. Does that have good range? And we can transport people. It's the aim of the game, isn't it? So, let's just fine tune the rotation. And scoot it over a little. There we go. Now we have our lovely little end station here. Which, if I click on it, we can still upgrade. So no longer do we have to delete the whole station unless we have tracks in the way that can't be removed. So we can change the number of tracks that a station has, and it'll automatically bulldoze anything that it needs. Even the station building goes up. That's a nice feature. Second street option, which I accidentally left on, so I'll turn it off. And even the station length, which is a very, very useful tool. We can even shorten it if we wish down to 80 meters, but why would we do that? So we'll just leave it as it is now. Fix the invisible road that was never built. And we can see an awesome feature they added to the game. Buffers will appear at any end of the track that is created. Very nice. Now we don't have to build them everywhere. Just a lovely little feature. So, we go down here, I guess. Where do we want to put this station? There's Oakland. Actually, I have a great idea for Oakland and Athens. So I'll put the station down over here. And I'll have it even go through the middle of this town, because I can. I'll add a second street construction. Yes. And this usually works best on dual platform stations anyway. So this one's going to be a bit expensive, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I'll build the road first. So let's build the road first. Yeah, I can't avoid deleting those, can I? Nope. Alright. This is about to get very, very expensive. So I'll put you here. Do I want to double track? Yeah. Might as well. Might want to expand later. Now let's hope this doesn't kill our wallet. Alright. And now I guess I'll get a chance to show off a new feature into the game. So just go like this. If I drag this across the water, you can see a little highlight shows up. Also, you can see that wooden bridges have been stupidly nerfed, which is an awesome feature. I just gotta remember that in the future, because y'all know I like to keep my wooden bridges forever. So, this height represents the shipping path, which, if I look down here, we have a few things downriver we might use. So, I'll decide to raise this bridge up a little bit. And let's see how far I can get it. It has to be a certain height naturally. Yeah, I don't think this bridge is gonna work. Oh well, it's really not much past this point anyway. It'd be nice if I could fit a dock here, and I'd have to leave all that. I can live with that. So I'll just make it as short as I can. Might as well. And I won't quite. Well, I'll start up to here and leave it there. There we go. And then, like Brain Fever, I can either continue on or do something even more awesome, like cross over this bridge, if I wanted to. But I'll show that off later. So, back to standard track, which is all we have at the moment. Also, there's a great way to add more track types. Again, I'll cover that in modding and stuff when I get to it. I'll turn on the contour lines, which have received a massive overhaul, as you can tell. We have a nice little guide here. And better yet, if we hover the mouse over something, we can see how tall it is. Very, very nice. So, let's just go to track to here. How am I going to get up this hill? It's a little steep. Yeah, I hate building stuff like that. Looks like I'm gonna have to, huh? Oh, there's a hill here too. Well, I can do something awesome, which is snap the track to the road, which is a nice new little feature. Sadly, it has a little slope issue. Will it? Yeah, it's that part right there, isn't it? So if I hold shift, I can disable snapping. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And we'll just have it trudge up this little hill. And then let's see if it can auto-complete with some sense. Nope. Guess not. Yeah, it's already set to go as low as it can. Oh well. I kinda wish things snapped to the terrain a little better, but I can live with that. There we go. And let's make our way down this hill now. Yeah, snapping to roads is a great feature if you ask me. First, now we have to cross over said road. Is there a way to cross this properly? Yeah, now without doing something like that. Also, looks like we can. Yeah. This might be a bit too steep. Of course, we could do something that we always been able to do, like delete this road. Normally, there'd be serious repercussions, but as you can see, this little icon up here started lighting up. This is the wonderful warning menu. And what that basically means is when something goes wrong, like a vehicle can't make it to its destination, for example, it'll start blinking and say, hey, something's been broken. Better fix it. So, if I click this button, say I was working over here, for example, and I delete something by accident without noticing or I forgot, just click this button and it snaps right to that area. An amazing feature. Sadly, vehicles that don't have path, that don't start saying they don't have a path, will won't pop up to that menu until the next destination they're trying to reach doesn't light up. Oh darn! I don't want to build a bridge. You know what? We still have a fair amount of money left. Famous last words. Let's just delete this whole section of road. Cross over and see if we can do anything about the road now. I'm cutting it close, but I could care less about this road. Too much slope on. Oh, there we go. So now, if we continue, there we go. Problem solved. Again, something we would probably never be able to do in Fever without serious repercussions, especially if we were broke, as I usually am. And boom! The line has been completed, and that only took a couple of minutes. So I'm going to put a break in the episode here, and I hope to see y'all in part 2. Bye, everyone!